In this video, we will look closely at exchange rates. First, we clarify how exchange rates are quoted. Then, we consider how appreciation and depreciation affects exchange rates. Have you ever tried to exchange one currency for another? Perhaps you've seen exchange rates displayed on a sign at a bank or at an airport. If so, you've seen national flags and a lot of confusing numbers. Each of these numbers represent an exchange rate. An exchange rate is the price of foreign currency. This price tells how much a unit of foreign currency costs in terms of another one. For example, the price of a dollar in terms of pesos is about 15.55. This is the exchange rate between the dollar and the peso. The world economy is becoming even more integrated. Globalization is real and increasing. As more goods and services flow across borders, exchange rates become more important. One goal of this video is to explain the reasons why exchange rates rise and fall. Exchange rates matter because they affect the relative prices of goods and services. Any good or services that crosses a border has to pass through a foreign exchange market on its way to sale. For example, the price you pay in the United States for a Nintendo built in Japan depends on the exchange rate between the US dollar and the yen, the currency of Japan. Zooming out to a macro view, exchange rates affect the prices of all imports and exports, and therefore GDP. The more integrated the world becomes, the more closely economists watch exchange rates since they affect both what nations produce and what nations consume. My approach to exchange rate is straightforward. Exchange rates are prices. For example, the exchange rate between the US dollar and the euro is the dollar price of 1 euro, or the number of dollars required to buy 1 euro. It is just like the price of other goods that we buy. Exchange rates are prices that are determined in world currency markets. Just as there are global markets where people buy and sell commodities such as sugar, wheat, or roses, there are also markets where people buy and sell currency. These markets, often called the foreign exchange markets, are places where people buy and sell international currency. Exchange rates can be viewed from either side of the exchange. For example, the exchange rate between the US dollar and the euro can be viewed as either of the following. Number 1, the number of euros required to buy 1 US dollar, or the number of US dollars required to buy 1 euro. While these two rates communicate the same information, they are usually not the same number, since they are reciprocals of each other. For consistency, we use the second option, the number of US dollars required to buy 1 unit of foreign currency. If you walk into a video game store and look at the prices posted on the wall, they indicate the number of dollars it takes to buy different video games or systems. So when we refer to exchange rates in this video, we're always talking about the number of dollars required to buy 1 unit of foreign currency. If the currency becomes more valuable in the world markets, its price rises, and this increase is called an appreciation. I bet you wondered what Tammy was doing. When Tammy heard me say the dollar appreciate, Tammy rushed to the computer to buy more goods from around the world. Since the dollar appreciated, goods from around the world are cheaper. We must remember that when the dollar appreciates, it's not always good for that country. For example, when the dollar appreciated, people like Tammy will buy more foreign goods, meaning more imports. And people from the other country will buy less foreign goods, meaning exports go down. They will buy less foreign goods because their currency depreciated, making our goods more expensive. This would cause our GDP to decrease because our exports will go down and our imports will go up. The other country's GDP will increase because people like Tammy are buying more of their goods and they are buying less of our goods. In contrast, currency depreciation occurs when a currency decreases in value relative to other currencies. If the dollar depreciates, it is less valuable in world markets. So, what would Tammy do if the dollar depreciates? Tammy would be forced to buy more American goods and less foreign goods. Since our currency depreciated, the goods from other countries are now more expensive. To the surprise of many, including Tammy, when the dollar depreciates and the other country's currency appreciates, our GDP or production will go up. Americans will be forced to buy more American goods because our currency in the world is valued less. And foreigners will buy more US goods because their currency increase in value, meaning our goods will be cheaper. The other country's GDP will decrease, exports will go down, imports will go up. Our GDP will increase because exports will go up, foreigners buying more, and imports will go down because Tammy will be buying less.